Hey guys, it's The-Nusk and welcome to another video. So in this video, we're going to be talking about gearing your fire Eliotrope, and then we're going to be commenting a couple of matches to showcase the build. The most classical take on the fire build is going to be something like this. You combine strong individual intelligence items, and all of this together makes a really good build. So you can change around a couple of things. For example, like some variations of a build you're gonna see is instead of using Inky Veil and these boots, you can use the Unnameable boots and the Myrmidon cloak. Which gives a little bit less res, but a lot more health and a little bit more range. So it's up to you what you want to do. But basically, like this is the core. The strength of this core is that it's pretty flexible. I mean, you can, as you saw, you can change the boots, the cloak. You can change the belt depending on the matchup you're facing. For example, if you need like more air resistance, you can play secular belt, for example. And it has a lot of flexible Dofa slots, as you only like need Ivory, Abyssal, and Volbis, and then like the rest is up to you. Obviously, you don't really play Ebony anymore because it's too hard to proc on Eliotrope. You can play the Spotted Dofus, you can play Lavasmith in the matchups against Kraz or Gazilors when you need it. You can play Dokoko. You can even go for more damage in the form of a Crimson or Ice Dofus. Like, these are really good advantages of a build. It also has a high vitality, high intelligence. It's got decent resistance to AP and MP reduction, especially AP, thanks to ring uses. Um, and yeah, so that's pretty much the standard fire build. We've been talking a lot of one of my good friends, Nia Springer, on this in this game, and like this build is good, but sometimes it lacks like a big punch, a big burst of damage. And one of the most underrated things on Eliotrope, I think, or at least in PvP, because in PvM you see it all the time, is actually like crit damage and big crits on Eliotrope. And I'm gonna explain myself. The way that portals work is that when a spell goes through a portal, like the total damage of a spell is getting multiplied by a multiplier, which depends on the distance the spell traveled between the portals. And so what that means is that when you crit, for example, your crit damage actually gets multiplied at the end by the portal and the redirection. So crit damage on Eliotrope has pretty high value because it's going to get multiplied by the class mechanic, and therefore you're going to get more crit damage out of your crits. And so your crits are really going to do a lot more damage if you crit a lot and if you have high crit damage. And so we kind of like thought about it, and that's why we decided to make like fire crit sets. Because there's already a lot of strength crit sets out there, especially in PvM. You see it all the time, like Elio's critting for 2000 damage and whatnot. But we wanted to do a fire crit set because fire has the advantage of Lazy Beam, which is actually a fantastic regen spell, and it also can hit like behind walls, like just behind a wall if you angle it behind a corner. It can hit in AoE against like Osamodas or Eniripsa. It's pretty fantastic. This spell is overall great, and then Parasite is just a great spell against classes that don't unbewitch it, because it deals just so much damage. So we wanted to do a fire crit set, and this is what we came up in the first place. So using obviously a 4-leaf instead of a Stalak, we're using a 2-piece war set. Unfortunately, there's like the negative range debuff, which is really, really annoying. But overall, it's just some great items like 100 int, 15 damage, 10 crit damage. And then there's this class, the bonus is, the set bonus is 50 int and 10 crit damage again. And again, here you have like 120 damage, 15 crit damage. These items are fantastic. So we wanted to make something around them. We took advantage of this new wand, which actually deals crazy damage and has really nice bonuses as well. A snail mate, of course, to boost your damage even higher. And so yeah, that's pretty much the set. So if you want to compare it to the previous set, obviously it has a lot less health. Resistances are, I think, pretty comparable. 28, 24, 35, 38. A little, yeah, you have a little bit less resistance. Overall, you're like really less tanky with the health and the resistances. But where it gets really interesting is when you look at the spells. So I'm going to be using Parasite as a comparison, and I'm going to assume you have like a decent size redirection that's 10 squares. And so on the base set, you're going to do Parasites. That hits very hard in non-crit. Actually 900 like to almost 1000. And then the crit is going to be a little bit, yeah, something shy of 200 damage more. And you're going to be critting half of the time. And with this set, you have pretty much the same base damage, just a tiny bit less. But the crit, you see, is 400 damage more. Like, it's pretty crazy because you don't have that much crit damage. You have 140. But with the multipliers and the Eliotrope portals, it just becomes there's a huge amount of damage because this is like pretty crazy. It obviously doesn't do the same when it reapplies at the end of a turn because it doesn't take the redirection into account. But still, it's really, really big damage, and the crits come very, very often. You're at almost 90% crit chance. So you trade some resistances in the form of life and like overall tankiness in exchange for a lot of damage and actually a lot of burst. Is it worth it all the time? No. But is it worth it against some classes where you can't possibly win the long fight, like Sacriers or Oginax? Yes, definitely. So now we're going to jump into some matches to show you some detailed explanation. So this first match is the absolute wet dream for this crit fire build. I play the Dragon Turkey instead of the Snail Maid because I want to take the initiative since I can hit him on turn 1. I boost myself, do the weapon mastery, and go for a huge crit with the wand. That's like 4 AP on turn 1. It's ridiculously strong. He's gonna boost himself a bit. Probably gonna put his sword. Yeah, he puts his sword and he heals right away. But little does he know that he's going to take a huge second turn here. So this is like classical. I'm counting the spots. I know exactly how many spots I need to do this big redirection. And here you see like the strength of the mode. First Parasite for 2000 on the Sacrier passive, then a second Parasite, and I take maximum distance. He has a huge pressure on him because he can't even mutilation for a 1200 shield. He runs towards me. He's going to be blocking a bit of portals, but it's going to be hard for him to block everything since he already used KO out and the sword. And here I see that he finishes in line of sight of my portal, and you see that Parasite did 2000 damage, then 600 damage at the end of a turn. It's completely crazy. And here I just calculate the Dazzling Ray, and I kill him on turn 3. In this second match, we're playing against Strength Crit Eniripsa. It's a really, really hard matchup because, especially on a map like this, he can just constantly hit you from pretty much anywhere he wants. He regens absolutely everything you do to him, and like overall, the match is really hard without erosion. Usually, I play like air crit resistance build against Eniripsa to kite them a bit. But this, I just wanted to try the fire build, and it ended up working pretty fine. Here I see a redirection. I need to kill his thing first. I actually kill it with one leak pie because this build is ridiculously strong. I go for a double lazy beam, but yeah, you see that like his shield plus his regen word. I don't do that much to him. And here you see one of the big problems of this matchup is between his Coney and the little glass thingies. It's really hard for me because he blocks all of my portals all the time. So here I go for a build for a play where I'm going to outmap him while hitting him. Yeah, and I always prefer to boost myself for next turn instead of going for a single leak pie, because it could make the difference between playing one big spell in the next turn. So here, yeah, he's gonna be blocking my portals again. I think he could have hit me if he put his Coney on the other side and used it use the rallying word. Here I see that if I kill the flask, I'm gonna be able to do space for my portal and at least kill his Coney, which is good because it he loses a 2 AP this way, and the healing obviously. So yeah, we're on turn 4. He still hasn't hit me, which is pretty nice on a small map like this. Again, I find a way to redirect and hit him. But you see that I've been hitting him for 5 turns in a row with a really damage-oriented build, and he's still very close to full life. He's gonna be blocking my portals again. So I'm trying to remember what I did here. Okay, I just went to expand my portals a bit and to keep hitting him, because if you lose pressure on the Eniripsa, it can get really hard. I decided to not go for the second lazy beam because I didn't want to get hit too hard. Yeah, this way he has to use his displacement spell, and you see that he's hit me once and he's already full health again, and I lost 1/4 of my health, which I'm gonna be having more trouble to get back. Okay, here I go for a small outmapping move. I could have done it better if I had. I wanted to save more AP to ball him through the portals, but I didn't calculate it quite enough. But it was okay even with a spell at the end of a turn. Here I want to outmap him again. I want to put another portal up there, so I have the option to go back to it next turn. So yeah, I'm trying to keep big distance between him and me, because you see that he hit me for 2 turns and I'm already at 30% HP and he's still full life. The matchup is just ridiculously hard, especially on a map like this. He doesn't need to do much, and he could just stay at the middle of the map every turn, and it would be really hard for me. Here I just hit him directly, and then out my him thanks to the portal I had placed a turn before, or 2 turns before. And yeah, I continued creating a lot of distance. I think at this point he got a bit. No, that's not this turn. Yeah, this turn he did a big mistake. He used the spell that puts erosion on him, and I'm like, well, this is the turn where I can do something. If I can hit him this turn, I'm gonna take such a big lead in max HP that he's not gonna be able to come back from it. And I find a way to hit him. Um, I go for the parasite. I actually am afraid of dying here, so I go for the heal up. And I think that here he knows how to heal loss, because he lost so many max HP that it's going to be hard for him to come back from this. And so he kind of gives up. Yeah, the redirection is really easy from here. He could have been longer, but in the end, he lost at least 600 max HP here, and the matchup comes down to this. So that was game for him. Okay, so in this clip, we're playing against Sacrier. who plays a Defying shield. So it's it like kind of acts as a second Sacrier passive. It's really hard to face because you'll see like as the game goes on, like I do negative damage. He puts a lot of emphasis in the earlier turns on blocking my portals, which was actually pretty nicely done by him. So here I always leave my portals open because I'm like, yeah, just make your sword come to me. I don't really care. I want to kill it anyways as soon as possible. But he does something interesting, like he blocks me with it. Um, but I'm able to just outmap it and one-shot it. So yeah, there's no point in like rushing attacker. He's doing mostly damage to himself, and he can just libation at any given moment. So he's just like carefully approaching me and blocking my portals, which is pretty okay. I'm gonna be hitting him, and so here you see that at the beginning of a match, I'm still doing like some damage to him. It's like nothing compared to the big redirection I did to the other Sacrier on the previous fight, but it's still pretty okay. Here he can block my portals with his Arachnia. I'm probably gonna unlock the portal on which the Kawat is. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do, because I need to like reduce the entities on the map so that he can't just transposition too easily, and I need to take some distance. So that's what I do here. Unfortunately, I can't take max distance, but I do what I can. He plays Defying, so he's gonna be hitting a bit less hard in melee. He's just gonna be like virtually unkillable. Okay, so here, yeah, I outmap him, and I go for a big redirection, and here, like, I'm really surprised by my damage. Like, I do 400 damage on a parasite, and that's where like the Defying shield starts to get like really ridiculous. He kind of gives up. I don't know, like it's weird to play like Defying and like a really tanky build if you give up as soon as like you're not winning the game on in one turn. But yeah, that's Sacrier for you. For this last match, I'm going to be playing against a Sadida. So Sadida is a pretty hard matchup because they can block all of your portals all the time and put you to 0 MP, which the Eliotrope doesn't like very much. What I found that helps a lot in the matchup is actually not closing your portals so that they can't block them, or they have much more trouble doing it. So yeah, he should have put his overpowered farther away from me, because here I'm just able to one-shot it on turn 1 and then boost myself. And as I said, I'm gonna be mostly keeping my portals open, try to like position myself so that he can't hit me through them easily, but I'm just gonna keep them open so that he's so that I hit him and so that he can't block them all the time. So he goes for a little bit of poke damage and then blocks himself with his tree. I'm gonna create a bit of distance and hit him and his tree at the same time. I'm unfortunately not able to one-shot the tree, but that's all right. He's gonna need to kill it anyways to get to me. Maybe he could have used like a transmuted doll here. I'm kind of lucky with the MP reduction. I don't know how much he had, but I'm able to dodge it pretty easily. And here I see a big redirection, and that's gonna be like I think the game-winning play. He takes a huge parasite to the face here on his 30% resistances. That's the power of a crit mode. And from here on, he has to play super defensively. He's not able to pressure me anymore. And yeah, that's pretty much where it gets really hard for him. Yeah, he puts a blocking doll. But yeah, at the end of a turn, he takes another 500 damage. So that was like a 2000 damage parasite. Completely crazy. I see the Exodus, and I'm going to be able to just brute force my way to a kill without a portal. Yeah, I just relied on a crit there. And yeah, that was just a quick and easy match. And welcome to the post match. So I hope you guys enjoyed this build. I really love it because it's nice to deal some good damages and Eliotrope, especially in 1v1 where you're like always have to outmap people and outmap yourself, and like you don't get often the opportunity to hit, and where you're actually hitting pretty hard, you don't have to hide as much because people can't pressure you as hard as they usually do. So yeah, I'm really enjoying this build. I'm gonna be playing a lot of strength crit build, I think, also because I kind of wanted to do that as well. I'm really enjoying my climb so far. I'm somewhere between 4,400 and 4,500. I'm having a lot of troubles against Shrams and against Upper Mages. I just don't know what to do against these classes. I'm in Fury crafting a lot of builds, but I just can't get my win rate high enough against these classes. So if you guys have any suggestions what to do against them, let me know in the comments below. I hope you guys enjoy this video, and I'll see you guys next time.